What would you do if you have an employee who asks for a salary raise? Would you ask how much he or she wants to earn? Would you ask for the reasons for which they have these requests? How would you approach this situation? I will provide you some guidelines and questions that can help you in this situation. First, compare his salary with other salaries of other employees with similar positions from your company and with similar results. Is this person's salary lower, higher, or at the same level? So make an internal comparison. Then compare his salary with the salaries of other employees with similar positions from other companies and see if his salary is lower, higher, or the same level. Make a market research. Analyze the employee's progress over time. Does he perform better than in the past? Does he took over new tasks and responsibilities? And you can ask yourself, is this person overqualified for this job? Could he perform other tasks more difficult or more complex? And if yes, you can use this opportunity to change his responsibilities and change his salary accordingly. Ask for the employee's reasons for requesting the raise. They may have arguments that you didn't consider. They may have contributions that you overlooked. And whatever reasons they provide, this will help you to address directly their arguments and their concerns. For example, if an employee is asking for a salary raise because one of his friends from another company with a similar position earns more, you can address directly this argument. Or if an employee is asking for a salary raise because he considers that the difference between his salary and other colleagues' salaries is too high, you can address directly this concern. Another important question that you need to ask yourself in this situation is, do I have the necessary resources to raise this employee's salary if he or she wants this raise? And if you don't have the money, you need to be transparent with your reasons. And even if you are not able to raise their salaries right away, at least you are not in the situation in which you undervalued their work. You recognize their contribution, and this will contribute to their motivation. Another important aspect to take into consideration is your company's criteria for granting salary raises. Are these criteria clearly formulated and clearly communicated to all your employees? Do your employees agree with your salary policies? You need to schedule a meeting with this employee to communicate your answer. And take your time to prepare this meeting. Take your time to gather the relevant data that you need. Take the time to make the market research. Take the time to prepare the possible objections of this employee during the meeting, especially if your answer is negative or if you will grant just partially the request. And even if the answer is positive, you still need to prepare carefully your arguments, because this is an opportunity for you to communicate what is important for your company and what you appreciate at this employee work. If your answer is negative, explain in detail why you will not grant the raise and make sure that the employee understands the reasons. Use a tone of voice that is neutral, because you don't want to make this employee to feel guilty or ashamed that he asked the raise. Set out the path that the employee can follow to obtain that raise, what he has to do, and how you will support him to obtain that raise. Saying that it is possible, giving hope and a clear path, will help this employee to be more engaged and actually achieve the results that are necessary for him to obtain that raise. Otherwise, he may feel discouraged, uncertain about what he has to do to change something in his situation. Now, if the reason for which he's asking for a salary raise is because he received another job offer and he wants to use this as a leverage to increase his actual salary, then you need to be very careful and you need to prepare very well for the meeting to prepare the reasons for which you give him a certain answer. You don't want to communicate the wrong message that it's possible to obtain a salary raise if you have another job offer. That's why you need to make sure that the reasons are clearly understood by the employee. When you decide to raise an employee's salary, you need to consider the salaries of the other employees in your company with similar jobs and similar performance, and modify their salaries too, even if they didn't ask for salary raises. Otherwise, you risk to create an imbalance between their salaries. The salary system will not be fair. These employees may be discouraged and demotivated. Even if you manage to increase one employee motivation, at the same time you decreased other employees' motivation.